Hey, what's up guys? Steve here with Next Gen Baseball. Today I'm going to bring you yet another video tutorial on some different things that you can do in your game to help bring you more success. Typically, I usually talk about something mechanically related when it comes to hitting or pitching, but today I'm going to talk about something a little bit different. Today I'm going to go over strategy and something you could think of at the plate to help insert you into a position where you could succeed the most. So let's get started, but first let's roll the intro. So as a hitter, before we go out to the plate, it's always good to have a plan of attack and to have an understanding of what that pitcher is going to be throwing us. Because as a hitter, in order for me to drive the ball to the outfield, I really need to have good timing. And good timing comes from having an understanding of where you are in your at-bat and being able to predict what pitch you're going to be able to get next. And we can predict what pitch we're going to get next by using probability and statistics. So let's go through an example of this. When we first step up to the plate, we have a no ball, no strike count. And at the major league level, on that very first pitch, we have about a 55% probability of getting a fastball on that first pitch. Not great odds, but they're okay. And as you get ahead of the count, so let's imagine that that pitcher throws a first pitch for a ball. Well, your probability of getting a fastball on the next pitch still remains about 55%. But if you can get the count to 2 balls and no strikes, now your odds increase to about 65–70% of getting a fastball. And in that count right there, it becomes much easier to square up a pitch. And not only does the pitch become more predictable, but in order to avoid going 3-0 or even walking a hitter, a pitcher really does need to narrow his strike zone in order to avoid walking you, which makes it a lot easier because I have less of the plate that I need to cover. However, if we rewind and we go back to that 0-0 count, and we fall behind, that probability of me getting a fastball on the next pitch now drops below 50%. And then if I get to strike 2, it still remains about the same, but what's really gonna happen here is that pitcher is really going to expand the strike zone, and it makes it very difficult for me as a hitter to cover every inch of home plate and even a couple inches off the plate because I need to protect against a strikeout. And Major League numbers will show this in batting averages. When a hitter is ahead of the count, the average Major League Baseball player is hitting above 300, depending on the situation. However, if I get to 2 strikes and I don't attack early on in the count, my batting average will decrease below 200 as a Major League player. Now, it's important to keep in mind that all this data that I gave you is based on Major League statistics. At the high school level or even lower, these counts are going to be even more predictable. So if you are getting ahead of the count, the chances of you getting a fastball are going to be even greater than the probabilities that I gave you. So hitting really is can become a lot easier if we just focus on this strategy. A lot of hitters, they get really wrapped up in the technique and the mechanics of hitting, but they really do forget about the strategy. And if you can understand the position that you're in, and you can understand that better than your opponent, you're going to put yourself in a position for success, and you're really going to give yourself a chance to drive that baseball. So I hope this helps. Remember, mechanics are not everything. Having an understanding of where you are in the game and the situation can really increase your chances of having success. So I hope this helps, and keep practicing, guys.